This one is very, very special to me. And it's very, very special for a few reasons. Number one, it's the first time that I've worn the Supreme headband, and I'm using the Supreme dishcloths. So the majority of the people that are watching this video aren't gonna know what that means. So you have to do something when you leave here. Because my son requested this meal. My son is what's called a hype beast. Most of you don't know what that is. Look it up. HYPE beast, hype beast. One of the hype beast brands is Supreme. We try to buy something every Thursday and resell it or keep it. So I'm putting to use all of our Supreme gear to show that it's functional. So this is gonna be the first hype beast meal. The second reason why this is important is my new favorite thing on Instagram is to watch this guy, Pubbylongway, Pubbylongway, Pubbylongway. He does voiceover of cooking videos, and he just did this video of someone making shrimp po' boys, and it was absolutely hilarious. And when Tony saw it, he said, "Dad, you gotta make shrimp po' boys." So this one first is for the hype beast. Second, it's for my man Pubby. Your videos are hilarious. And then third, this just brings me back to one of the roots of my life, which was my time in New Orleans. Ate a lot of po' boys while I was there, as you can tell. Typically they were gonna be fried po' boys, as you can tell. But it reminds me of the podcast that I've been listening to the most lately, which is no doubt this past weekend with Theo Von. He's from Louisiana. He's just the funniest person, the most unique person. He reminds me of all the guys that grew up in the New Orleans area, like Rob Stein and Lusto and Brandon. Even those guys grew up a little bit further north. You know, all my New Orleans buddies, he talks just like them, and I could just tell he's a super real person. So these are gonna be Cajun shrimp po' boys for the hype beast, for my boy Pubbylongway, and for my Cajun boys and Theo Von. Let's check out the ingredients. All right, you can't do Cajun shrimp po' boys without having like a good Creole white sauce to put on them. So let me show you what's gonna go in this white sauce. We're gonna make that first. The first thing that goes in it is real mayonnaise. So I'm only gonna make one of these sub sandwiches because Tony's the only one eating fried. I'm gonna eat it grilled shrimp with some vegetables. And Sam and Danielle, as you know, don't eat seafood, so they're gonna have some chicken subs that I'm working on. So I'm just gonna do enough for one person of this sauce for one person. You have to just multiply it out. If you have 3 or 4 people that are eating, just multiply the recipe out. So I'm gonna first go with, just that much, like maybe one more squirt than that. It's okay to have a little bit left over to dip a shrimp in. So I'm gonna say that's like 2 or 2.5 tablespoons. Then I got this Cajun Choice Creole seasoning, like Tony C. If you're from New Orleans, you know what that Tony C's Creole seasoning in. We put it on everything, or even like an Old Bay would probably work as well. So I'm just gonna cover that mayonnaise with some of that seasoning. That's gonna give it that good color. Now, I'm gonna take like a squeeze. This is a half of a small lemon. I'm just gonna squeeze. We want it to be a little bit liquidy. So I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna squeeze it all the way down. That's about, let's call that about half of a lemon. And then just to silken it up a little bit, just a quick dash of that Frank's Red Hot. All right, so now, simple sauce, right? Watch what this sauce looks like when we're done. All right, and if you want to do it like my boy Pubby says in one of his videos, just cut you fancy, you're gonna take this sauce and get one of these little bottles. They're like 3 for $1 at the dollar store that you could then make little designs with. I'm just gonna spoon that sauce right into here, and then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator to let it cool down a little bit while I make the rest of the sandwiches. All right, so we get that sauce in there. Sam, let's put this into the, I made a mess already, nothing new there, but that's why I keep my napkins on hand. This one, well, I put this in the fridge. This one too, the shrimp po' boys. My dad loves the shrimp po' boys. During football season, at least once every time, every season, every Bears season, at least once in the season, he will request Hey, come look at these chicken subs I'm making for you guys. Just cut up some chicken breasts, sauteed them, took them out when they were about halfway done. Did a little chicken stock, a little barbecue sauce. Now I'm just sauteing them down till they're done. All right. Grandpa always asks for the chicken or the shrimp po' boy at least once every bear season. So I know this is one of his favorites too. Will he ever make it at home or have my mom do it? Probably not. All right. So now the sauce is made. It's chilling out. Take a look here. This is for afterwards. Nice shredded lettuce and some Roma tomatoes sliced. Perfect. All right, so now here comes, if there was a difficult part of this, I would say this is the only difficult part of it, is that you have to be planned and organized in order to do this, okay? So I call this the wet dry station and then the finishing station. So this wet station right here is buttermilk. Again, it depends on how many people you're feeding, how much buttermilk you need. Okay, if you can't find buttermilk, just get like a whole milk or something like that. Buttermilk's definitely going to give you the best flavor. This is flour right here. I didn't season that flour yet. You got to season that flour with a little bit of that Cajun seasoning. And then I would put just a little bit of more pepper in there and maybe just a little bit of salt. I'm not sure how much salt content that has. I'm sure it's enough, but it definitely gets worked its way out. It gets worked out, you know, kind of once you mix it in. So now, buttermilk, flour, dry. Here's the important part, and I already kind of messed it up because I put this in the dry already. So you see that mistakes happen, but that's okay. I'm starting over. This is my wet hand, this is my dry hand. Okay, so when you're going to bread shrimp like this, which I'm only gonna bread about 10 shrimp to put in his sandwich, you take the shrimp, so these are just 21 to 25. Say, okay, 21 to 25, Nick, what does that mean? I'm gonna pretend like you know nothing about shrimp. That means 21 to 25 of these per pound. And I think that's just big enough, because they're going to shrink a little bit, just big enough to have a nice hearty bite of a shrimp, but not too big to where you only can fit 2, and not too small where you have to put 1,000,000 in there. So I like a 21 to 25 shrimp. These are peeled and deveined. So the way that I do it is, I just dip these shrimp right in this buttermilk, okay? Now this is with my wet hand. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna put 9, 10 in there. Okay, so now watch. Here's how, back up a little bit so you could see. My wet hand could play with these as much as I want. Soak them in there. You could soak these for up to like 10 or 15 minutes. You don't have to take them right out. But then what I do is, right from the wet, I go right into the dry. And I just kind of throw them without getting that hand dry. Okay, so I'm gonna only put 4 in there because I don't want to overcrowd it. Now I'm taking my dry hand. My dry hand is going to now toss these in this flour. See how I just get under them and I toss them? And I pick up some flour and I just coat them. Just kind of mess them around a little bit. Okay, now when you go to take them out, stay with your dry hand, give them a little shake, right onto a plate. Give it a little shake, right onto the plate. Give it a little shake, right onto the plate. All right, I'm gonna continue this till I get about 10 shrimp in here, and then when we come back, I'm gonna show you the frying process, right to a sandwich, and we eat. So we're ready to fry. Get my glove on. Got the shrimp breaded, let them sit for a few minutes. Hot canola oil, that's very hot. How do you know your oil is hot enough? Like when you're frying something, I'm not doing like a deep fry submersion. You can do that too. You got a little deep fryer, you can do that too. Set it to 350, deep fry your shrimp. I don't do that, I kind of eyeball it. Here's what I do, I get this hand wet, and I just give it one of these. That's ready. See how it jumped? I know that it's ready. If it didn't do anything, that means that the oil's not hot enough. It didn't react to the cold water. It's not ready. Quick tip, free of charge. Here we go. Shrimp in. We should have enough room for all of them. By the time I get them all in, I'm gonna have to get some tongs out, and I'm gonna have to be ready to flip them. Yeah, that oil's just about to the point of being too much, but it's just good enough. All right, I don't want to overcrowd these, so I'm actually not gonna push it. I'm not gonna try to put them all in there. Okay, feel free to just move them around a little bit just so that they're not sticking at the end. Okay, now while those are frying, again, preparation, I got my plate out, an extra plate, throwaway plate. I got 2 little napkins that are on it. I'm putting it right next to where I'm frying, so that as soon as they come out, I'm gonna hit them with a little salt as they come out, because that seasoning once again will just absorb another layer of flavor, and they go right on so that they can rest. You don't want an oily shrimp. That's the last thing, if you're having a shrimp po' boy, You don't want to be tasting oil. Let me get my Supreme towel. You don't want to be tasting oil. So how do you know? I like to clean as I go too. You'll see me do this every once in a while. And then I'll get the towel stuck in it. How do you know that the shrimp are ready to flip? So that's a good question, Samantha. I'm glad you asked that. So see how it's white on the sides, like over there? That's still white. I'm looking for that breading to kind of get a little bit brown. See right there where it's brown? I'm starting to think that because of the way that that's brown and the whiteness that I see in the shrimp, white means it's cooking. Okay, white, pinkish color, gray, or white. Sorry, white is going to be shrimp that come out of the Gulf. They kind of get pinkish when you cook them. But these gray shrimp, they're going to get whitish pink when you cook them. So that's what I'm looking for here. I don't want to overcook them, but you can't undercook them. So I'm thinking right where I started, which is this one, is probably a good time to flip. All right. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. It's nice and crispy. I could feel, if it feels soft with your tongs, don't flip it yet. Those feel nice and firm, nice and crispy. So I went ahead and flipped them. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I got 2 more shrimp to fry. We gotta get Tony down here because I'm not eating fried shrimp today. I'll finish frying the rest of the shrimp. We'll go wake Tony's lazy butt up. We'll get him down here and we'll try this Cajun shrimp. All right, we got the man, the myth, and the legend in the house. He's ready to go. He wanted the Cajun shrimp po' boy. So let's put it together. Check it out. Come see. That's what they say in New Orleans, by the way. They say come see, like if they want you to look at something, that's what they say, come see. All right, so here we go. Some of that sauce as the base layer. Put it on both sides. That's just the base layer, all right? Now, let's come in with them tomatoes. Ooh. All right, now let's go with that first couple little shrimp. We're gonna go 2 and 2, single file line. Bubbles, no troubles, 2 and 2. All right, now we're gonna go with a little lettuce on top here, right here. And then I see a couple little gaps up here that I just wanna throw a couple more soldiers inside of, maybe 3. So right now we're going on 9 shrimp total in this po' boy, all right? Then on top, back with that sauce. Oh, I didn't make enough sauce. Oh yes, I did. Just needs to come down a little bit. Back with that sauce. Get that Cajun sauce up in there. All right, now you gotta take that. You gotta fold it up. As you fold it up, you gotta pinch. You gotta pinch and smash it down. Press. All right, now this is a critical move right here. Oh, you have to have confidence. You have to have confidence in yourself to get through it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, Tone. Cajun shrimp po' boy. It shouldn't burn your face off this time. I know I usually burn your face off, but
yeah.
All right, let's take a look and see what he says. Is it everything that he was thinking from the video?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. You got just healthy amounts of shrimp in every bite. Delicious. All right. Hype Beast, Supreme, Pubbylongway, Theo Von. I'm tagging you all on the gram. Check out the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube. I gotta go on Food Network Star. This is the only way it's gonna get me there. Help me out. The end.